Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on stories from the Puranas. And today we'll be talking about a very, very important and interesting story. And this story is about the great sage Vyasa, Ved Vyasa as he's called, because what he did was, and what he's known mostly was, he's the splitter of the Vedas. So he's the one who actually split the Vedas into four Vedas, which are, as we know, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda. These are the uh, four Vedas, which actually came from the original Veda, which was split by the great sage Veda Vyasa. Also, he's a compiler or a writer of the 18 Mahapuranas. Okay, there are 18 Mahapuranas as per the Hindu scriptures. It's a part of the Hindu scriptures, the Puranas, and there are 18. Well, there are sub Puranas as well, but he's the creator or the writer or the compiler of the 18 Mahapuranas. And he's also the compiler of the great Mahabharata, the great epic Mahabharata. So he's a very important figure as far as ancient history goes, ancient spirituality goes, ancient Vedic culture goes, ancient Hinduism goes. Very, very important. So let's try to find out as to where did he appear from? Where did he come from? And again, this is again coming from the Puranas itself. So I will request you to have firm faith and belief in it. This is not a piece of fiction. So, as we all know about the great sage Maharishi Parasha, who's also the compiler of or the knowledge given by Maharishi Parashar is mentioned in the Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra, and that's a very important document or scripture for people who are interested in Vedic astrology. So he was a great astrologer. Plus, since he was a very spiritual rishi or a spiritual guru or a sage, he had many, many other powers as well. So he's not limited to just Jyotish or Vedic astrology. So it so happened that once Maharishi Parashara went out on a pilgrimage and he came across the banks of the river Yamuna. Okay. And he saw a fisherman there who was taking his food at that time. And he said, "Oh, fisherman, please take me on your boat and carry me to the other side of the river." And since the fisherman was having his food, he turned to his beautiful daughter, whose name was Matsyagandha. Okay, to translate Matsyagandha is Matsya means fish, Gandha means the odor or fragrance. Okay, so she had the fragrance. You cannot call it fragrance, an odor, which was not very pleasant, I would say. But that's the kind of a fragrance or odor she had, and her name was Matsyagandha. So the fisherman told his daughter, "Oh, beautiful, please take this religious Muni across the river, and please take the boat and carry him to the other bank." So Matsyagandha agreed, and she said, "Okay, I'm going to steer your boat across the river Yamuna and take you, to the other side of the river." And the Muni or Rishi Maharishi Parashara sat on it. And while the boat was moving on the waters of the Yamuna, Maharishi Parashara saw that beautiful girl Matsyagandha, and it appeared so as with with the intent of destiny, he just became very attracted to her. Okay, and his mind became full of passion for her and her beauty and her youth and everything. So what he did was he took his right hand and caught hold of her left hand. And when Matsyagandha saw that, she said, "Oh my God, oh Rishi, so you're also under the arrows of Cupid, or Kamadeva as we call it in ancient Vedic language. Kamadeva is the god of love. And what are you doing? Is this worthy of your family, or the study of the Vedas and the Shastras and your own meditation and austerities and tapasya? You are born in the line of the great sage Vasishtha, and you're known as a person with a good character. What are you doing? So she tried to kind of logic or reason with him, but he was, unperturbed, and he said, you know, no, I still, I'm desirous of you. And Matsugandha, when she realized that, she thought in her mind that this Brahmin has certainly lost his brains. He is now wants to do something which is not correct, which is not ethical. And it's all because of Kamadeva, the arrows of the Cupid. So Matsugandha again spoke to him that, please, let me first take you to the other side of the river, and then, you can we can talk about it. Kind of, she didn't agree, but then we can talk about it. And then Maharishi Parashara thought that this is very reasonable, so he let loose of her hand, her left hand, and then, he sat in the boat, and then he got down on the other bank of the river. But then Maharishi Parashara was extremely passionate, and then he caught hold of Matsugandha again. And on this, Matsugandha said that, look, my body is emitting very bad smell because it's Matsyagandha, the smell of the fish. Don't you realize this? It's always better to have a union between a man and a woman who are kind of similar. And when Maharishi Parashara realized that this is what Matsugandha is saying, with the power of his tapasya, with his spiritual powers, he made Matsyagandha emit sweet scent like that of a musk to a distance of 1 yojana. Yojana is a unit of distance as per the ancient Hindu scriptures, I can say. It's approximately 8 miles. Okay, so he made her emit sweet scent like that of a musk, and that made her body even more beautiful and lovely. And then again he caught hold of her hand because he satisfied her. First she said, okay, take me across, let's take you across the river, we can talk about it in the other side of the river, the other bank, once I take you across. And then again she said, okay, well, I don't emit very good smell, so it's not proper to have union between a man and a woman who are not similar. And to that, Maharishi Parashara made her body smell of very sweet fragrance. So he satisfied her again. Now then again, Matsugandha said, okay, well, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. There are people who are looking at us. There may be my father also who's looking at us. So let's wait until night before we can have a union. Okay? And then Sage Parashara, thought that, okay, well, it's very reasonable of her to say that because, it's not proper to do it, during day. So he thought, okay, fine. He created with his spiritual power, he again created a dense fog on the banks of the Yamuna, and it became covered with darkness. And then again Matsugandha said, oh Rishi, oh Maharishi, how can we do that? I'm not married yet. Okay, and what will be my fate? Because, say for example, I get pregnant, I mean, there will be a big problem. And then Maharishi Parashara said that, look, you will remain a girl, a virgin, like before, okay, even after you get pregnant and bear me a child. And he did that with the power of his meditation, with his spiritual power again. Okay, so Matsugandha said, okay, fine, you granting me all these things, but grant me these boons, so as to say, or these blessings, that once we are in union, my father and mother will not know anything about this affair, okay? And I'll become a virgin again, okay? And also, let an extraordinarily powerful son be born to me like yourself. Because she was pretty impressed by his powers and his spiritual power and, whatever he was. So she said, this is what I want from you. And also, this good smell which you gave me, the sweet fragrance which you gave me, which is coming out of my body, should continue to remain always in my body. And always my youth and beauty should remain afresh and increase even more. So these are the four boons Matsyagandha asked for. And Matsyagandha, by the way, is none other than Satyavati, which comes in the character in Mahabharata. So this is what Matsyagandha asked him. One, the father and mother should not know anything. Second, she should remain a virgin. Third, a powerful son be born to her, just like Maharishi Parashara. And fourth, the nice smell continue to remain as always in her body, and let the youth and beauty remain afresh and even increase as the day passes. And Maharishi Parashara granted these boons to her, and he was very powerful because, of course, he was a great Maharishi with all the spiritual powers. And then saying this, Maharishi was he was pretty impressed with Matsyagandha. He says, I've seen all the apsaras, I've seen all the beautiful women, but never ever have I been so attracted to anybody as I have been attracted to you. Okay, so there has to be some kind of a divine cause why I was attracted that much with you. So saying this, they had a union, and then Matsyagandha, who actually is Satyavati, whom King Shantanu married later on. If you look at my earlier videos, if you hear or see my earlier videos, you'll know Satyavati became pregnant, gave birth on the islands of Yamuna itself to a son as beautiful and as powerful in terms of his spiritual power as the second Kamadeva, the god of love. So not many people know that. And this son, of course, was Ved Vyasa, the compiler of the 18 Mahapuranas, the splitter of the Vedas, and the compiler of the Mahabharata. And not a lot of people know that he was also very handsome, very beautiful. Okay? Just like a second Kamadeva, the god of love. And then, as soon as he was born, through his spiritual power, he told his mom, and it's not been mentioned in the Vedas how old was he, but it appears from not the Vedas but the Puranas how old was he, but appears from the Puranas that he was pretty young. And he told his mom, Satyavati, or Matsyagandha, as whatever you may wish to call her, that, oh mother, please go wherever you like, and I want to perform severe austerities, meditation, and tapasya. Okay? And the moment you remember me, I will come to you. And of course, there's another video which you would like to watch about when Satyavati needed Ved Vyasa. She remembers him and she goes, and then he solves her problem, because she was in a problem after her sons passed away, and then he wanted, him to help with the continuation of the lineage. Anyways, that's another story. We're not discussing this here. But if you get an opportunity, please refer to that earlier video. So he said that, Mom, I give you my word that whenever you remember me, I will come to you. Okay? I will instantly come to you. And just saying that, Veda Vyasa, his actual name was Vyasa, but he's called Veda Vyasa because he was a splitter of the Vedas and compiler of the Puranas. So Vyasadeva was actually his real name. He went out, and Matsyagandha, or Satyavati, whatever you may like to call her, went back to her father, and then Vyasa went to his place where he could do tapasya or meditation. And in the meanwhile, he did tapasya and meditation as well, and he also tried to visit various pilgrimages. He composed the 18 Mahapuranas and the excellent Mahabharata, split the Vedas. That's what he was doing all this time. until he was summoned by her mother, Satyavati. When he remembered him as per his promise, he appeared and he's, saved her from a situation what she was very worried about. So hopefully you did enjoy this video on the birth of Ved Vyasa, or Vyasadeva actually. And meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic in continuation of the stories from the Puranas, or any interesting topic on Jyotish or Vedic astrology very soon. Goodbye.